us in the flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Crystal. Our glasses so I can see. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Rankin, family and friends, on behalf of the graduating class of 1991, I would like to welcome you to Fairvalley High School and Ranger High School, which is the new name given to our independent study program this year. I would like at this time to introduce board members, and I believe the only board member we have with us today is Mr. Gil Ramirez. Right? Mr. Gil Ramirez, one of our board members, the board president, is here. This evening is a very special evening. We're here to honor you, the members of the graduating class. This is the 24th class to graduate from the alternative high schools of the Covina Valley Unified School District. I would like to also acknowledge and congratulate a number of students who have graduated during the school year and were not able to be here tonight, plus 6 students who returned to their home high schools at midterm and will be graduating tomorrow night with their respective classes at the comprehensive high schools. We're very proud of all of the students who have been a part of our school throughout the years that they have been going to high school. They may have returned a year or 2 ago and still have been a part of our school as well. So we like to claim them as a part of our student body. We have a program this evening I'm sure you're going to enjoy. We're going to begin with Cynthia Suero, one of our graduating seniors, with her speech entitled "The Future is Ours." And following her speech, we have a scholarship presentation by the Kiwanis Club of South Hills. Cynthia?
Yesterday was a time we had, a time we can look back on with fond memories, a time to grow, a time to spend with family. It was a time to build everlasting friendships and to experience sweet relationships, a time to live lives just for the sake of having fun, a time when we were too young to be treated like adults, yet too old to be treated as children. Today is our high school graduation. Today is our special day. Our turn to walk in the spotlight. Our time to shine. A moment we have strived hard to achieve. All our lives we have awaited this day, along with the celebration afterward. But what happens when the celebration is over? What will be our next goal? What shall become of us? The harsh reality is, many students never see past graduation. Many students never think about tomorrow. My friends, today's graduation isn't only because we've completed our high school curriculum. Today we become young adults. We graduate from our adolescence. And the first part of becoming an adult is taking responsibility. Responsibility for our actions. Will we or will we not attend college? Will we become homemakers? Will we find jobs? Will we be mature enough to face our problems and not run away? We will also have to make responsible decisions as well. Decisions that will not only affect us, but the world around us. You might think this isn't a problem, and you may also think this is an easy task. But look around us. We wake up and we can't take a bath because there isn't enough water. We go outside and we can't breathe fresh air because all we see outside is smog. We go to the store and people are shooting each other over racial disputes. We pass the elementary schools and we see drug dealers dealing to little children. We turn on the radio and hear about more nuclear weapons that our government is making instead of using our tax-paying money to go to our schools. We turn on the TV and another person has been shot by another drive-by shooting. And we go to bed in our warm homes knowing there are millions of children on the streets with no place to go, nowhere to go, no one to care. We live in a world full of decisions, wrong ones, but we alone can change it. We can make a difference. Slowly but surely, it starts with the responsibility we take for our actions and the responsibility we make to make careful decisions. We are the society of tomorrow. We are the future. And it is never too early to think about the future. We need to start setting positive goals. We must have strength, determination, and faith in God if we intend to reach them. It will be difficult, and we must expect to make mistakes along the way. But we must learn from these mistakes and become twice as strong. And just like a baby bird must leave its nest, we will soon too leave our homes to pursue our destinies. But it all starts with taking that first step. So my fellow graduates, be not afraid of what the future holds, for the future awaits us with open arms. We shall leave Fairvalley High School today with the memory of yesterday in our hearts and with our heads held high, for the future is ours.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Mr. Maurice Flora was to be here from the Kiwanis Club of South Hills, and he has not arrived yet, so what I'm going to do is to do his job, okay? What I'm going to do is to present to you a certificate of achievement and a scholarship for $1,000 from the Kiwanis Club of South Hills for your achievement in education.
God for everything, because if it weren't for him, none of us would be here and I wouldn't be accepting this award. Second, I'd like to thank my family members for staying by my side and believing in me all the time and never doubted me. I want to thank the Kiwanis Club for the scholarship. I'd like to thank all my friends for being there. And my best friend Holly, who couldn't be here today, and her family for their support. And especially my little daughter, who's around here somewhere, and for being my inspiration. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm glad that Cynthia talked about the future, because one thing that's really interesting about the future is that we can't predict it. We don't know what's going to happen. In 1964, Chuck Berry brought out a song called You Never Can Tell. Now, this song was kind of lost to Beatlemania because the Beatles were everything in 1964, but the beginning of this song said, it was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the Mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bells. C'est la vie, said the old folks. It goes to show. You never can tell. Now, I'm sure that Chuck was overlooking the fact that 92% of all teenage marriages fail, but as in all of his songs at that time, he was telling the kids what they wanted to hear. But the premise of that song really holds true throughout life, that there's really no predicting how we're going to end up or whether we can beat the odds against us as we go through life. We just don't know how things will turn out. And this doesn't happen just when you graduate from high school. It can happen at any time. And I mean this in a very positive way. The best example I can give about this is I have a friend who went up to the northwest Oregon coast a few years ago. When he came back, he raved about this town on the central coast called Newport, Oregon. So since I'm always looking for an interesting place to go in the summer, I wrote to the Chamber of Commerce. In the material that came, I got some information about the local paper, which came out once a week, and it was $20 to subscribe for 6 months. Well, just on a whim, I thought, well, I'll just take this newspaper to see what's there, because newspapers are often more accurate barometers than Chamber of Commerce brochures. So, in reading the newspaper, I came across personal ads, friendship ads they call it. And it's typical where a man wants to meet a woman or a woman wants to meet a man. Now, I've never answered one of those, I've never run one of those ads, but one time the newspaper printed a large ad next to this ad saying for $10 you can put in your own ad. And I thought, well, I'm 1,000 miles away from Newport and I'm not married, so maybe there's an interesting woman out there. So I wrote an ad saying that I'd like to write to an interesting woman. Well, I got 12 responses, 11 of which were okay, fairly interesting, but one was really outstanding. And my daughter came over that night to visit, and I happened to show her this letter, and I said, jokingly, I thought, where has this woman been all my life? Okay, so I was so inspired that I wrote a letter twice as long as this letter. And a few days later, I was sitting on the couch at 10 o'clock reading the newspaper, and the phone rang. And here was this very soft voice wrapped around the most seductive British accent I have ever heard. Well, 6 weeks and $1,200 in phone calls later, we met at the Eugene airport, having agreed to be married before we ever met. And 6 weeks after that, she became my wife. And now 10.5 months later, she has made this the happiest year of my life. So you never can tell how life is going to turn out. Now, in the course of our very intimate telephone relationship, which ended up being about half a dozen calls a day until the weekend, and then it was a lot more, but I came to confess that even though I was a teacher, I had been really a lousy student in high school. I'm saying this in front of the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, and the Board of Education, so you have to give me a little credit for this, right? I said I graduated from high school with a 1.9 grade average, which isn't quite a C. And I told about going to my 10-year reunion in 1969, and people coming up to me in different states of alcoholic haze and saying, well, what are you doing now? And I said, well, I'm a school teacher. I'm an elementary school teacher. And they'd laugh and say, no, really, what are you doing? I know we're all drinking here, but what are you really doing? Well, I'm an elementary school teacher in Covina. And people said, well, now wait a minute. I had you in social studies class, and you just drew pictures of airplanes and cars and things like this. And, you cruised looking for girls, and you went to the beach, and you didn't do any work, and you got D's in your classes and C's. And I said, yes, but when I was about 20, something hit me that, now that I'm entering my major field, maybe I should actually study a little bit, and was able to make the dean's list. And my future wife, who was about to graduate with a degree in anthropology with a 4.0 grade average, which was a little scary, told me that when she was a high school student in England, that she was an even worse student than I was. So no doubt we would both surprise our former teachers and classmates. But the whole experience of going to high school and college taught both my wife and myself that our school performance as teenagers wasn't necessarily an accurate indicator of future success or failure. So how did you people sitting here feel when you came to this school? How did your family feel? Did they write you off and say, well, now he or she's at Fairvalley, so that's the end, right? I mean, worst came to worst, so they ended up at Fairvalley. We're all aware of the reputation. All the teachers here know the reputation of the school. And yet tonight, you sit here in front of your very proud friends and families, and you're going to receive your high school diploma. And it's This is in recognition of having completed just as many district requirements and having passed just as many proficiency tests as any other public high school student in the state of California. This diploma, as Cynthia said, is your entree into the adult world. With it, you can enter the military, you can attend any community college in the state, and you can proudly, and I mean proudly, put on any job application that you're a high school graduate. And a study I read a couple of years ago showed, in terms of how much more money the average person makes with a high school diploma than without, comes out to the 4 years that you spend in high school, your earning capacity will be about having equal $35 an hour being in the high school classroom. That's over a career's, a lifetime career. Unless you want to make as much as a teacher, and then you should have dropped out about 3 years ago. So your diploma is the key to the adult world. It opens the door, and what you do then with your diploma and your drive to succeed is really strictly up to you. How far can you go? How well can you do? Well, as the old saying goes, the sky's the limit. And I sincerely hope, and I assume I'm speaking for the entire staff here, that you will go on and do well after you leave here tonight. We at Fairvalley know that continuation students go on to enjoy successful, productive lives, and I would feel good knowing that someday you will be successful in whatever you do, and maybe those who once kind of looked down on you for going to this school will say, oh, that's right, he or she used to go to continuation school, and look how they're doing. Well, I guess it goes to show that you never can tell. So good luck to all of them.
very much. Great job, you guys. The band is made up of a number of school employees. Mr. John Slins, who's the principal at Trawick Junior High School. His son Gary is playing drums there, and Gary's wife Linda on vocals. Wayne Manning is playing that great big horn over there, what that is. And the two guys that look just alike are Cloyce and Cal McLean, who are assistant principals, and Cloyce just retired last night, and we wish him well. He came out even after retiring to be with us tonight. We appreciate it. I want to ask maybe Maury Flora, would you stand up please, back there from the South Hills Kiwanis. Thank you very much for coming out. I already did your job, okay?
Thanks, Gene.
I also failed to introduce Dr. Jack Rankin, our superintendent, and please give him a nice round of applause. My job's still intact? Shaky, okay. I want to say a very special thanks to all of our staff members at Fair Valley High School who throughout the year have done a tremendous job and helped out a great deal in a number of areas in putting on our program tonight. So all the staff members at Fair Valley High School, thank you very, very much. Nice hand for all of you. Thanks to Jim Miller, who is ROP instructor, and he brought the flowers and plants and so forth. So thank you, Jim. Now, our commencement speaker this evening, as the old cliche goes, truly needs no introduction because the graduates here have seen him around a number of times over the last 4 years or 2 years, however how long you've been here. He has been a teacher in our school district, and he was a principal a number of years, I know at Sierra Vista Junior High School, and is currently the Assistant Superintendent of Instruction. Please welcome Dr. Doug Jenkins.
Thank you, Mr. Ridgway. Platform guests, Fair Valley faculty and staff, graduates, and friends and relatives of the graduates, good evening. From the very beginning, I want to offer you my congratulations for your achievements, for having progressed in your young lives to this day, to this graduation. And I have a gift for you. My speech will be short, because I fully realize how eager you are to get on with it. You're eager to get those diplomas for which you've worked so hard, and you're eager to join your family and your friends to share your joy, and in some cases, your relief. Each of you may have arrived at Fair Valley by means of a different path, and you probably had a number of problems to deal with and conquer, no doubt. Regardless, you are here today, you stuck with it long enough, and you did the work that was necessary to earn your diploma. You persevered, and you are to be congratulated for that. There are times in all of our lives when we're frustrated and feel defeated. We've all faced that. That's life. But we are usually better and stronger for having faced up to our frustrations and our problems and set about to solve them. The bottom line always is, did we overcome the challenges? Did we get where we wanted to go? Did we accomplish our goal? There's a brief poem that goes, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you'd like to win but think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Those are words that we could all remember. I've seen many positive changes at Fair Valley over the last few years. One only has to have visited the school 5 years ago and then visit this year to see and feel the positive changes. For example, this Fair Valley graduation ceremony. It's a fairly new thing. This is the only third one that the school has had. You students are fortunate that the district superintendent, Dr. Jack Rankin, came to the district 5 years ago with a vision that he shared with Mr. Ridgway and the Fairvalley faculty. This, together with the feeling that the faculty and staff had already about wanting to do an even better job with students, guaranteed improvement. Since then, things have gotten better and better. There have been many adults here working together to help make Fairvalley a positive alternative for you, the students. Before you leave this year, before you leave today, I hope you will thank the people on this campus who helped you. Please remember, you are not the only ones who have been working hard. Teaching and working with students your age is not easy. Also, you may have some people at home to thank for helping you get to where you are today. As you leave today, I wish you luck, because it's nice to have luck. But most of all, I hope that all of you maintain the desire to work hard, because hard work is likely to pay off far more often than luck. You are all young and you have many challenges ahead of you. You have a long life ahead and many, many challenges. Remember, if you think you can, you can. Congratulations again. Thank you.
To you, the members of the class of 1991, you have many, many opportunities ahead, limited only by the bounds of your own imagination. As you go forth to meet the challenges ahead, you have my very best wishes to all of you. In presenting this graduating class, I state, as principal of Fairvalley High School, that I have examined the credits and transcripts of the members of this class. I certify they have successfully completed the course of study required for graduation by the Covina Valley Unified School District Board of Education, and are entitled this diploma, awarded this 18th day of June, 1991. At this time, it is a privilege to present this graduating class of 1991 to Mr. Gilbert Ramirez.
And on behalf of the entire district staff and the Board of Education, I would like to congratulate the members of the class of 1991 from Fairvalley High School. Does that sound good? I would also like to express my congratulations to your parents who have supported and encouraged you through the years. On behalf of the Covina Valley Unified School District Board of Education, I proudly accept the class of 1991 and present them for awarding of their diplomas.
We will now have the reading of the candidates' names. Students, please stand. Pam Ashton. Lisa Kane. Brian Choliak. Tanya Carmona. Pat Campos.
Crystal Bakis. Yvonne Mosqueta. Christine Paisley. Ralph Solis. Cynthia Suero. Turn your tassels. Congratulations, and may God bless you, graduates of 1991.